Jacqueline, well, time now. It is 6:37, and coming up next, this is what's trending. A soothing touch, the heart-melting video going viral of a dog recovering after surgery. Plus, the major discovery making one family millionaires. The big fortune they didn't even know they were sitting on. Next.
Morning, everyone. Welcome back. Here's a look at your UV index for today. It is extremely high. Well, not extremely high because it's not in the extreme category, but it's a lot higher than yesterday because we already have those clouds clearing out. Sitting at a 9, so it's very close to being in that very high category. And if you're heading to the beach today, sure, you'll have a lot of sunshine, but that rip current threat is really high because of this onshore wind. You then add in a northeast swell, and the surf will build to about chest high or so. Boaters, seas are sitting at 3 to 4 feet right now. They will increase. The seas could get as high as 6 feet, maybe a little higher than that later on today, all because of that northeast swell in the waterways. Moderate chop.
All right, Tyler's over here with me for some of the top trending stories this week. Another touching tribute to Robin Williams, Tyler.
Yes, and you can now drive in the Robin Williams Tunnel. California lawmakers renamed the tunnel last year to honor the late comedian. And this week, the signs at the tunnel near San Francisco were changed. Williams grew up and lived in the area. The 2 new signs were paid for through private donations.
I know. It's just a cat talking.
That sweet video of a puppy crying after surgery, the veterinarian comforting the little puppy. You can see why it's going viral. Before you get too worried about the dog, though, the doctor said dog's crying because of that weird feeling from anesthesia.
The video became so popular, the shelter shared a follow-up pic of the pup with her new family. As you can see, she is doing just fine.
All right, imagine being this family. They had no idea their great-grandfather was sitting on a fortune until after he passed away. They found 7 original Ty Cobb baseball cards printed in the early 20th century. There are only 15 similar cards known to collectors. They were perfectly preserved, and get this, they were in a crumpled paper bag and discovered while they were cleaning out the home.
That is so cool. The family took the cards to a dealer who says the best preserved card could easily sell for $1 million. Ty Cobb is remembered as one of baseball's all-time greats, a superstar outfielder for the Detroit Tigers from 1905 to 1928. I do believe Ty Cobb is from my home state of Georgia, and I know he was a ruthless player.
Normally the good ones are ruthless, right?
Yeah, he would but he would like sharpen his spikes and like try taking out players when he slid into second and third.
All right, now his baseball card is worth,
there we go.
Did they say millions?
Yeah, something
Millions.
like that.
All right. Who knew?
I believe it.
Time now is 6:43. Coming up, why cyber experts say changing your computer password may actually do more harm than good. And another live look outside on this Sunday morning. That's from downtown West Palm Beach, where News Channel 5 is a proud sponsor of today's Autism Speaks Walk. Thanks for waking up with us. We'll be right back. Many of us have been told changing our passwords will protect us from hackers. Some companies make you do it every few months, but now the Federal Trade Commission says that may actually do more harm than good. That's because mandatory password changes are forcing workers to come up with bad passwords. It's pretty hard to remember all those logins, so ultimately we end up following patterns that link our old passwords to the new one. For example, adding or removing characters like exclamation marks. The FTC says the main reason you need to change your password is really if you think it's been stolen or if it's just too weak. Airplane restrooms gross a lot of us out, most of us probably. You never know how many germs are hanging out there. So now Boeing is trying to change that with self-cleaning restrooms. The company says the UV light kills more than 99% of germs in just 3 seconds. The light turns on after someone leaves and cleans the toilet seat, sink, and countertops. Look at that. Boeing is testing out the technology right now and says it could be installed in restrooms on existing planes in the future. Good news for you, there's a new way to get some of your hard-earned money back automatically. It's called Paribus. It's an online service that automatically gets you cash back when something you've already bought goes on sale on average within about 30 days. It was created by a couple of entrepreneurs who saw that online retailers change their prices often, and in some cases, several times a day.
It was awesome. I mean, I thought it was an error on the system. We have saved $400 in about 30 purchases in about a year.
Wow. All you have to do is sign up for Paribus online. It then scans your email for receipts and tracks current sale prices on items that you bought. When a price drops, Paribus gets you the difference and keeps 25% of that. It currently supports purchases from 18 major retailers.
The sun is back. It is clear outside and dry too. Feeling pretty nice as well with temperatures in the 50s and the 60s. Here's what it looks like over downtown West Palm Beach. The sun is right there and it is beginning to come up. I do expect a beautiful sunrise for you this morning. As you can see, it already looks pretty spectacular out there with all the colors up there in the sky. The hour by hour forecast. Few clouds over the next couple of hours, but by the time we get to 9, 10 o'clock this morning, it will be sunny, and I mean completely sunny too. Perfect for the Walk Now for Autism Speaks event that we got going on. Walk begins at 10 o'clock this morning. Clear, comfortable by 10 with temperatures nearing 70 degrees, probably about 68 degrees or so. Vipercast shows the drier air spilling into South Florida. By noon, it is completely sunny for everyone in the viewing area, and it continues to be sunny all the way through 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. By 7 o'clock this evening, we see it continue to look pretty good. But then later on tonight, the wind shifts from the northwest to the northeast, and on that onshore wind, we start to see the clouds come back into the viewing area. Now, we are going to see a ton of sunshine today, and for that reason, the UV index is at a 9. That's the highest I've seen probably all this season. If you're heading to the beach, looks good, but the rip current threat is high because of this onshore wind. Then you factor in a northeast swell, and the surf will be building to chest high, maybe higher than that. It'll also be a little breezy, so if you do head out there, way down those towels. Boaters, seas right now about 4 feet or so. This afternoon, with that swell coming in, seas will get to 6 feet, maybe higher than that at times, and the inland waterways will have a moderate chop. Low tide, 11:51 this morning. So here you go. Let's summarize it. Gorgeous day today, sunny and warm with a high of 77 degrees. Little breezy. Continues to be a bit breezy overnight, and tonight will be mostly clear with temperatures in the 50s and the 60s. 7-day forecast is the most quiet 7-day forecast we've had all dry season. Rain percentages are 5 to 10% at best. Breezy, a little windy once we get into Wednesday and Thursday, and as you can see, it's going to be sunny all week long, and temperatures will be back in the 80s by Wednesday. Warmest 2 days will be Friday and Saturday with highs of about 83 degrees or so. Tori, back to you.
All right, thanks, Tyler. Well, a Florida man has been missing in Iran for years. Coming up, the city working to find him and bring him home. Plus, out to the ball game. We're going to show you the sights, sounds, and all the fun from the METS spring training home opener on the Treasure Coast. And let's take you outside for another live look at downtown West Palm Beach as runners are waiting to take to the streets for the Autism Speaks Walk, happening at 10 o'clock this morning. You're watching WPTV News Channel 5, and we'll be right back. The families of 4 people killed on the El Faro just reached a settlement with the ship's parent company, Tote Maritime. El Faro was headed to Puerto Rico from Jacksonville in October of last year when it disappeared during a hurricane. The ship's owners say its main propulsion failed. All 33 people on board died. The settlements were for reportedly $500,000 each for pain and suffering, and also an undisclosed amount for economic losses. It is not quite spring, but it is time for spring training, and baseball fans poured into Tradition Field this week for a chance to see some of their favorite players. NewsChannel 5's James Whelan was among those taking in the sights and sounds of the Mets' spring training home opener against the Marlins.
Spring training is back at Tradition Field in Port St. Lucie, and the Migliaccios are in town ready to cheer on their Mets.
The whole Mets thing is traditional for us, so, we like to go to a bunch of games back home and get the kids into it young.
Let's go Mets!
So we thought it was a great opportunity to come down here and see the Mets in Port St. Lucie.
The Migliaccios weren't the only ones. Tradition Field was packed with eager baseball fans.
Let's go,
But it's not just about the plays on the field, it's about the whole experience, which of course includes some stadium goodies.
I'm gonna get a hot dog.
Also ordered up, picture-perfect Florida weather for the Mets home opener.
Back home it's cold and it's snowing in New York, so over here it's beautiful and sunny, 85 degrees, couldn't ask for better weather.
For some, coming to Tradition Field is, well, tradition.
My father used to sit here, he was 92 years old, and it was easy for him because he didn't have to get up every time somebody walked out of the aisle. So we've had these seats ever since.
For some rookies like 4-year-old Santino, seeing the pros in action is nothing short of inspiring.
I like to pitch and hit home runs and slide and catch balls.
Heroes to the young and young at heart.
Mets are great. We're big DeGrom fans, Harvey, David Wright, we love them all.
Go Mets!
I got
James Whelan, WPTV NewsChannel 5.